All right, streaming. There we go. Hello, cryptocurrency land. Welcome to Real Crypto. Live streaming today for the first time in a while. It's probably been a week since I've live streamed. Dorhe, hello. Frederick, hello. Hello, everybody. EOS, is EOS running? Or you just want to point it out? All right. Oliver, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I don't know, it just started. I don't know. I usually end up with like 50 or 60. We'll see. Yeah, EOS. Who has not noticed EOS here? And I have to be honest with you, I have not been the best in terms of following EOS. But it has put in a massive bottom here. It has broken out from that bottom. The proper buy point would have been right here, about the 72 level, something like that. And yeah, you would have almost had a double from here so far. But I think EOS is just getting started. If you're not familiar with the news or EOS, EOS is a platform. It's a platform coin, kind of like Ethereum. And they have a year-long ICO, which has really been putting a damper on their coin price. But they just announced when they do launch, and I think it's going to be fairly shortly, they are going to have over 1,000 apps on their platform. So that's pretty good news, and that's pretty much what this run-up is based on. Could be good news, could even be bad news if those apps just suck. I mean, 1,000 bad apps could be trounced by one app in a heartbeat. So, all right, Ian, how you doing? Good seeing you. JBL, what's up? Actually, Dorhe, I am going to now post a link to my Slack channel that I just started. So I just started a Slack channel last night. There's, we talk about community. There's a lot of us in here all the time. And I know you guys look for me to stream, and sometimes it's hard for me to do that, but it's easy for me to jump on Slack if I see something or if you guys see something. So go ahead and click on that link right there, and you should be able to send me direct messages as well through there, which is good. So yeah, do that. Let's let me check something out real quick. Frederick here mentioned that because he's I invited him to the Slack channel. He's kind of my test guy there. Frederick's a good friend, and so he helped me out with a couple of screenshots earlier regarding getting your where is it? Here we go. Alright, so if you go to channels on Slack, go to browse channels, you should be able to see I've actually made several channels, one specific to altcoins, one for Bitcoin, one for breakouts. Breakouts is for imminent actionable trade alerts for the group. Buy points and charts for some general analysis, Ethereum, and general just general stuff. So just general chat, BSing, stuff like that. And we can add more chat rooms if we deem necessary. But for right now, that's kind of all I've got. It's kind of what we put out there. Frederick, hope you don't mind me putting you out there. Sorry, I guess I should have asked you, buddy. Apologize about that. But yeah, so Slack channel. So guys, go ahead and join that. That should be fun. Enjoy. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy the conversation. I'll tell you that much. There's a lot of times that I do want to get a little bit of tidbits out there, and I don't know. Twitter doesn't do it for me, to be quite honest with you. I don't really post a lot to my Twitter. I know there's a lot of guys that do. It'd probably be good for the channel if I did. But at the same time, I don't know, something about the 280 characters, and it's just weird. But anyway, the Slack channel is something good where we can all just communicate, so that's good. Okay, 80% of your students aren't at school for the Astros parade. Gotcha. Yeah, Astros. What about them Astros? Pretty spectacular. One way or the other it was going to be a good series, and just the Astros happened to come out. So there you go. I don't have a dog in the fight either way. Ian, I know, buddy. I've seen you on there. It's just not my cup of tea, to be honest with you. I'm super busy at work, and just staying that active with up-to-date information that isn't already out there. It just ends up, oh, there you go. Looks like JBL joined. I got my notifications up, so if you guys decide to join, there you go. But big story of the day is Bitcoin. Who has still FOMO'd and not been involved in Bitcoin at this point? I know there's a few of you out there. So ever since this big break over Bitcoin 5,000, it's been full steam ahead. We've seen massive volume coming in here. There's a bit of selling up here, which is to be expected. Bitcoin Cash is 666 on CoinMarketCap. There you go. Nice, Godfred. But yeah, so a little bit of selling up here is to be expected. We have had quite a run. This is a very big selling bar right here, but we've poked past it and we're living towards the top half of this bar, which overall is very bullish. The fact that we have declining volume here indicates that there's some strength here. I don't want it to get too weak though, because if it gets too weak, then we're in my opinion a little more due for a sell-off. Because if it's not going up, people are just going to sell to take profits in a defensive mode, and you know, if that happens, then that's not necessarily, you know, then the price is going to be lower. That's not good. Ethereum broke back over 300 here very recently, came back, put this bottom down here at 280. We saw some nice bottoming action here in Ethereum. I think we were watching this live in the live stream I did the other day at night. It was basically midnight, and then it started to curve up. So hopefully we can stay above this 280. This 280 is our floor for right now. Yeah, any realm down in 280 should be bought in my opinion at this moment in time. But yeah, I find it highly unlikely it's going to get back down to 280. Ripple's been catching a bit. Oh, I usually skip over Bitcoin Cash, and that has been a mistake. That has been a mistake because it has had a massive run. It had this nice cup formation. This is really nice action, just this upward action. This is a parabolic move with a very nice topping candle, and then it pulled back and then boom, exploded up again. So, you know, this was your proper buy point right here at the 452. You'd be up 200 bucks in this. That is very good action in Bitcoin Cash. But right now, you don't want to be buying it up here. It's way too extended to buy up here. Crypto Crown, nice to see you on the channel, buddy. Thank you for joining. All right, so Ripple. Okay, I'm on the 2 hour. Let me zoom out. Frederick, you're the man. 470. Good job. I'm going to go look at that. Where did you buy that? You bought that at 470? Dirty Dog. Dirty Dog. Good. That's good for that breakout. Very nice. I like that. Ooh, Palm Beach Confidential. At some point in time, that is going to go down in some massive flames. I'm just going to say that right now. Anytime a lot of those pump and dump newsletters come out, you're starting to see them in cryptos. That's one of the first ones that's made it real big that I've seen, and I just see it all over the place. And at some point, it's just going to get too big. Those things never work out. They never work out because the second everyone's in the same trade, it always goes in the other direction. So it always goes in the other direction, and it could be due to the scammer themselves, or it could be due to institutions just kind of understanding what's happening and seeing a potential opportunity. But either way, it can be bad mojo. But I mean, look, you know, broken clock's gonna be right twice a day, and that thing's gonna have some good calls, you know, and that's what keeps them going, unfortunately. 250,000 subscribers. Well, they've been paying a lot for those because I've seen Palm Beach Confidential all over the place. They've been paying for that. All right, so Bitcoin Cash, Ripple. So I hope this isn't all due to Palm Beach Confidential. Is this another Korea coin? I don't know. That may be due to Korea too. Korea's been eating up some certain altcoins. I think Ripple's one of them actually. But that is a very crazy topping candle. Not too bad here in terms of if you wanted to get in, it's not too far over the buy point here. Yeah, it's only a couple %, so that's not too bad. Yeah, let's look at FCT in. Oh, some nice volume. What do we have here? Okay, it's a first pop-up. It's a first pop-up. Again, we don't buy the first pops. We wait for a consolidation, then we take the second pop, right? We've seen a lot of these pops failed. You know, this pop failed, this pop failed. So volume, it looks very good here, but you need to have a base in order excuse me, a base in order to buy out of. So this could have possibly been a good base. It did come down very far, but this could have been a possible good base. And now looks like you may have to sit until the 1725 level, unless this goes sideways and you can have a couple of closes maybe underneath this 1590 level. That would be interesting. Yeah, it flagged out right here. It flagged out right there. Not my favorite flag though, because it's really low. It's a really, really low flag. Okay, but it did break out again, which is good. So we do kind of have a second breakout going out here. Let's go to the 15-minute. Oh, you're on. You're on Bitcoin. Let me go to Bitcoin so I can pick up what you're putting down. That is not what you were talking about. That's what you were talking about. Okay, so Factom picked it up at 22 and sold it 232. Your decimal points? Okay, yeah, sold at 232. Yeah, nice trade. That's a pretty good little trade there. Yeah, see, when you take those pops like that, you're very smart to take profits quickly because these things have been sold into. We're kind of in the midst of an altcoin bear market right now, and you are going to get some pops, but they're going to be faded. They're going to get faded. Yeah, Morse code, that's for sure. Litecoin, how's Litecoin doing? Flagging out here, kind of a bull flag happening right here. Let's go back out to the 2-hour chart, gain some perspective. Big spike down kind of with everything else yesterday, then it came back up like we saw with Ethereum today, going back to 300. So it's coming back to its support level here at the 54 level, living above that again, which is nice. Only $1, which is fine. May have to redraw this trend line. There you go. So redrawing that trend line. Let's redraw this up here properly. Okay. Looks like it may want to be poking out of this declining trend line at this point in time too, which could be bullish for Litecoin. Could be bullish for Litecoin. And you do have 100% upside if this thing does want to run up into all-time highs, but don't know if that's in the cards just yet. Don't know if that's in the cards just yet. You know, maybe we get a run like this, right? We get a nice run up. You can probably get 50% out of Litecoin pretty decently. I mean, this was a nice run in Litecoin right here. This was 30%, 31%. That's really nice. Okay. FCT Civic. Let's check out Civic. Yeah, not looking healthy down here. Not looking healthy down here, spiking down, just sitting at the lows. There's no reason to be excited about this coin. You want to be in coins when they're moving. You don't want to be in coins when they're not. And this is a good example of trying not to pick a bottom, right? This is a prime example of that because after this massive run up on extraordinarily good volume, I really couldn't fault you if you wanted to hold this for a while at some point in time, but it just hasn't played out. And it's pretty much like even if you take it from up here, you know, it's down a good 40%. So you never, you never go ahead and it's really hard to hold these coins after they've had a big run up. You just don't hold them because they can go sideways and chop for a long time. And then you're holding a coin that's down 30, 40, 50%. And at some point in time, most people, now I'm going to say most people, not everyone, but most people are going to end up selling at a huge loss because it just mentally wears you out and it's very difficult. So I just want to throw that out there. But yeah, this is something I would not be interested in. RLC. What's RLC? RLC, very choppy. I mean, really just up and down and all over the place. This would be really hard for me to trade and or hold this coin. Yeah, if there's something fundamental or specific, you have some insider information or something. There's some nice. This is a good volume signature here. Not a lot of nice, medium-sized pops indicate some institutional accumulation, but it's just very choppy. I would just be uncomfortable trading this coin. You can't have a proper stop loss when this thing's just going to go down, 8% on a whim. That's going to be very difficult to hold. Frederick points out the inverse correlation between altcoins and Bitcoin. That is correct, and that it has improved recently though. As Bitcoin has paused, altcoins have started to make a little bit of a move. So that could be interesting if we start to, if Bitcoin doesn't have to sell off for altcoins to move. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. I like that. Just subscribed to my channel the other day. Thank you for your good information. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Chules. No problem. ICN. What's going on with ICN? I take it they're running. It's like a little bit of a pop here. Again, you're sitting at lows. You never want to buy the first pop. You can look at all these pops up that have failed. You never want to buy the first pop. This could have been a possible trade if you would have bought out of this consolidation. Okay. So this could have been a first pop, and if you bought off of this high, you could have had a trade. Is this a trend line? A trend line or a price bar? That's a price bar. So if you would have been pretty disciplined and taken some profits up here, that could have been a trade. Every other move has been faded. So you never buy the first pop. You wait for a consolidation and a continuation. EOS. Let's look at EOS again. I don't mind looking at EOS. Let's check it out. So we talked about EOS a little bit earlier. Looks like some new people have joined the chat that haven't been here, that weren't here earlier. If you're not familiar with EOS, it is a platform coin similar to Ethereum in that it runs applications, and they have a year-long ICO. They're like 60% through with it now, so a good 4 months to go, 5 months to go. But they recently announced that when they do launch their platform live, they will have 1,000 apps on the platform. So that's pretty interesting. That's some good news, and that's pretty much what's made this run up happen with some exceptional. This is exceptional volume, guys. I just have to tell you, this is exceptional volume. I can't say the price right now is the exact time to get in. We are a bit extended at this moment in time. It has gone over 100% from its breakup here from 53. So right now we're still up 141. It peaked out at 164%. So it's a little extended. I would wait for some kind of a pullback. You maybe could have bought off of, let me zoom in so you guys can see that a little bit better. Okay, you maybe could have bought, so this was your perfect buy right here off of 70. I zoomed in a little too far. So this was your perfect buy right here at about 73, up all the way up here into 75. Anywhere on this candle would have been at your perfect buy. This would have been a continuation buy. This would have been a continuation buy over the closes here. This would have been a continuation buy, and right here would have been a continuation buy. And you're going to have another one over here over the 134, 135 level. Okay, and you want to buy when things break over resistance levels, because that means they're going to go up. Otherwise, they have a good chance of not going up. I've got 5,000 cash and 5,000 monthly I want to invest. When do you think is a good time? Yeah, we just looked at CivicPol a little bit ago. It is really not looking like, it's not looking healthy. It's not looking like it wants to move. It's yeah, it's not doing anything. It's sitting flat. So if you're looking for a crumb of good news, if you're looking for, no, Frederick, I was pausing trying to think of my answer. Unless you're actually seeing lagging. Yeah, so this thing, it's just not moving, okay? It's just not moving. It hasn't moved, and it's not going to move for a while. It looks like it's slowly trending lower, which is not good. You see a lower low here and a lower high here. So it's just overall not good action, and there's hundreds of coins to choose from. So I would stay out of coins that they're just in the doldrums, just sitting down towards the bottom. In terms of your 5,000 cash and then 500 monthly you want to invest. So if you're going to go with a monthly strategy, that's a different type of a ball game there, okay? If you're going to go monthly with $500, I would definitely make about at least a quarter, if not half of that Bitcoin. I would really do that with Bitcoin. In terms of your 5,000 initial investment, right now is a very difficult time to be buying altcoins, and Bitcoin is running and it's at a high. You don't want to buy at highs up here. You want to buy out of consolidations, and I talk about this all the time. So you buy out of these consolidations. You don't buy when it's spiked up, because even this one spiked up and then it consolidated, and you had like a good 3 or 4 or 5 areas to buy in this consolidation if you wanted to, but you don't buy it during the spike up. So you don't want to put money to work here. If you have to put the 5,000 to work, if you need to put it in, then what you can do is kind of diversify a little bit for a long-term perspective, and you can pick like the top 10 coins and just maybe do like 30% in Bitcoin, and then Ethereum, Litecoin, all these coins going down the list, and then you can speculate with some lower capped altcoins with like your maybe 10 to 15% of that 5,000, depending if you're going to hold for a really long term or if you're going to just trade it. But you really have to understand who you are as a person to understand if you're going to trade this account or if you're going to just hodl all of these investments. Okay. All right, guys, there's some more people here. I just opened a Slack channel last night for everyone. If you guys are interested in chatting with traders, this is the first time I'm posting it. You guys are literally the first people to view this Slack channel if you're interested in joining the room. The room is just to kind of keep what we do in the live stream going throughout the day and the week. For times where I can't live stream, you guys have good information, I have good information, and I think communities are stronger than individuals. So if you're struggling with a trade idea and I'm not around, or you can't get anyone to talk to, these communities are really good to have. It's free. I don't know if I'll end up charging for it in the future, but it's free. And so there you go. Just go ahead and click on that. Check your channels. I've actually started a few channels. Let me show you the channel. Let me show you the channel here. Okay, so I've got a few channels. I have an altcoins channel. I've got a Bitcoin channel, breakouts channel, buy points and charts channel, Ethereum channel, and a general BS channel if you want to post GIFs or memes or whatever you want to post up there in general. Altcoins is meant to be for pretty much all altcoins. Outside of Ethereum, that kind of has a special place just due to its market cap. Bitcoin is specific to Bitcoin. Breakouts is meant to be a channel for actionable moves. If you see a setup coming, if you see volume coming into something, post it in breakouts. I'll be doing the same. Buy points and charts is just some chart analysis, kind of pointing out potential future movers, potential future coins. So anyway, check that out, guys. Check it out. All right, back to the charts. I'm really happy with Bitcoin just living up here. I mean, it has not sold down. You see this rising trend line that I drew here? I think I drew this right about here. Lefty, thanks for joining the Slack channel, buddy. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think I drew this trend line right about here, and I was kind of half expecting it to be broken already. And it is not, which is quite impressive. Quite impressive. Juan, Yog. Kinson, there you go. Thanks, guys. Get some chat going, right? That's what it's about. And if you guys haven't chatted in a while, just pop in and say hi and just throw something in there. It's a brand new channel. Brand new channel. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna have to force it to keep it going up there. Thanks, guys, for joining the channel. It should be fun. Doritos Extreme. You know what? You're right, Yogesh. This is the extreme stream. So I guess I should be a little more flamboyant about it. Extreme stream. All right. Frederick already being the ambassador. But yeah, so EOS, someone did mention pay. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. Okay, so pay. What's going on in pay? I don't know. Let's check it out. Looks like a nice V bottom. Cool. Looks like a V bottom here in pay. Some pretty interesting volume. Nice big. I won't say nice. Big volume on the sell-off is down, but some nice volume on the uptrend. So, it's just living in the lows though, guys. Again, you don't. Southwest Digital Imaging. Actually, everybody, this is a client. This is a client phone call. I will decline it. So I'll call them back. I'll go ahead and call them back. Yeah, it's really hard to buy at the lows. Now, I will say this about buying at lows. I will say this about things spiking down, okay? And this is true with Ethereum the other day, and I think I mentioned this during real time. I don't remember exactly, but when you get down towards these extreme lows, that's a pretty good time to take a trade, because they usually spike back up. Especially if they come down really quickly, they'll usually spike right back up. And Ethereum did that. I mean, it wasn't much. It was like 15, 20 bucks. But, you know, that's like 8% in Ethereum. That's not too bad. So you're going to get the same thing in pay. You're going to get the same thing in a lot of these. I don't know who that is. Sorry, guys. That's how my work phone calls come in. But yeah, when you get these spikes down, you can buy them to the upside and make a trade, but you want to buy as low as possible. I know that's scary. I know that's difficult. You don't have to do that, obviously, but it is a trading methodology. There's people that make money like that. So, Bitcoin pre-dip or post-fork? You know, Sean, I have no idea, buddy. I've got no idea. I don't pretend to be a fortune teller. Yeah, really. That's just very difficult. All the prior past Bitcoin forks have dipped a little bit before sometimes a little bit, and even after they've dipped down, but then they go up once it's known that it's safe. Okay, once it's known that everything's safe, then they tend to run. Then they tend to run. Rising wedge on the hourly. So here's something with a rising wedge. It is not a bullish pattern. Contrary to everything we've seen recently, contrary to life, rising wedge is actually not a bullish pattern. Did I do the right one? BTS? Because last time I checked, to have a rising wedge, it has to be rising. See a declining wedge, maybe. Yeah, you mentioned a rising wedge. Right here? Like right here? This would be a declining wedge, which would be bullish technically. But again, you know. Are we talking on a shorter? Let's go to 15-minute here. Maybe the 15-minute will tell the story. I still don't see the rising wedge. So here's a rising channel right here. I see a rising channel. I'm on Bitcoin. How am I in Bitcoin? I don't trade against Bitcoin. BTC. No, not BTC. BTS, right? BTS dollar. There we go. BitShares? Am I looking at the right chart? Okay, BTS on Poloniex. Okay. Maybe I'll get this right. Okay. Now I see what you're talking about. Thank you very much for being patient with me on that one. Yeah, it kind of looks like a bit of a rising wedge. Even just taking the wedge out of it, anytime you have a rising trend line like this, they tend to be broken to the downside, right? So here's one, here's another one off the same point, here's another one off the same point. All these tend to be broken to the downside. Typically, here's a flat one that was broken to the downside. But on the contrary, declining trend lines, oddly enough, are broken to the upside. Imagine that. Imagine that. So yeah, this could be. If you want to short it here, that's up to you. You need to have a stop loss in place if you're looking to short. Be very diligent with your orders. Be very diligent with your orders. Rory, I did not talk about NIO. Aviad, I started a chat room in Slack for us, buddy. So go ahead and check that out. You're free to join. Everyone here in the chat room is free to join. We've already had looks like about 12, 15 people in there so far. So that's really nice. That's really nice. But yeah, if you want to short this prematurely, always a little bit dangerous, but you kind of have a failing bar kind of right here so far, so maybe not be a super bad place to short it if you wanted to do that. I have not looked at NIO. Let's go look at NIO. Let's go to the 4-hour chart, and okay, so this is what NIO did. So NIO broke a long-term support level ever since its huge run up over here, right? Remember that, where it doubled? There's a long-term support level right there at about the 27 level. I drew it a little bit lower here, and it actually came up and touched my trend line exactly. So either I'm really good at drawing trend lines or something, but it came up, failed at my trend line. Now we're waiting to see if it can consolidate and go higher or if it's going to fail again. So that's where we're at with NIO. You know, some people may want to buy it here for longer term. I understand that. It's another platform coin. It's going to be a good one going longer term, but yeah, the chart right now is saying bearish. At the same time, like we just talked about, we have a rising trend line happening right here. So very likely that's broken to the downside, but it needs to get over this trend line. It just around $27 for it to actually go back into not scare me mode. Because right now it's kind of scaring me. It's kind of scaring me a little bit. We had the big 100% run up, and then we just went we had a couple good run ups, couple good legs. You know, we made some money on these legs, but that's why I take profits, right? Because it can end up going sideways like this, which is what it's doing now. Okay, Lisk and Qtum. I have Qtum right here underneath NIO. That looks horrible. And I have Lisk as well, which is not looking good. Not horrible, but not good. Still a series of lower lows. Look at this rounding to the downside. Just rounding over to the downside. No buying until you hit this extreme low. So, John Oliver. There you go. From the Daily Show, John Oliver joining the Slack channel. Celebrity endorsement if I've ever seen one. So yeah, you know, both of these are just kind of living at lows. They're both platform coins. Maybe that's why you're interested in them, and they probably have some good technology behind them. But I don't know what the adoption rate is, and I don't know. Avia, there you go, buddy. Rory, thank you for joining Slack. This should be fun. Yeah, this is just not healthy in Qtum. This is, you know, we were playing it over here. We were looking for. Let's get it back up. Okay, we had this cup with handle right here, which broke out and failed, and then tried to break out again and failed, and tried to break out again and failed, and tried to break out again and failed. And then that put in this symmetrical triangle in Qtum, and then that failed. And then we put in a rising trend line, and that failed. And then we put another rising trend line in and tried to run, and that failed. And that failed, and this failed. So failure after failure after failure. If this thing could declare bankruptcy, it would. So not very good at all. And I'm leaning on this because people see low prices and they think it's cheap. Well, cheap can get a lot cheaper. Cheap looked pretty cheap at 22, right? Think about it. Think about this. When you guys were looking at this, when we had this cup with handle and we broke down from this, some people right here were thinking, oh, this is super cheap. Yeah, it's now 44% cheaper. So yeah, never buy bottoms. Never buy bottoms. Anything on ADX? I can look at the chart. I don't know if anything's on ADX. Okay, so ADX, look at that, coming to the bottom of this large kind of triangle. There's really no run up from this triangle, but it is a pattern of some kind. Living at the bottom, looking like it may want to break below it. This is an avoid for now. It needs to break some kind of support level before you can get back in. Poloniex is still processing your app since 9.2. What app are you referring to? And Poloniex is a trading platform. It's not a I'm not sure, Sean. You're gonna have to give me some more details, and I may or may not have any info for you. But I'll listen to your question and see if I can answer it. XVG has not been selling off. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to call it here in a couple of minutes. Got to get back to work. Okay. Yeah, not breaking down, which is good. Just consolidating here. We have some highs being tested up here. We have lows. We're trading in a range right now. We're range bound. So if you get to an extreme of that range, if you're a shorter term trader, you can maybe buy it for a bounce possibly. That could be something to do. Past that, I'm not too interested in it at this particular moment in time. Pretty close to the top of the range, really far from the bottom of the range. So, OMG, is that moving? That is not what I thought it was. Omisego. Bleh. So again, let's go back to what we've been talking about for quite some time. 2,500% run in Omisego. We're still consolidating said run. That being said, just like we did in NEO, we just broke beneath this longer term support level for Omisego. It happens to be $7. And it came down, spiked down, put in a very nice bottoming candle. This is a very nice bottoming candle. And this could break out to the upside, but you want to wait for that breakout. You don't want to wait for it to go down on you. You want to wait for it to break out. Oh, your account. Okay, your account, Sean. I would just cancel it and redo the account. I don't actually have an account on Poloniex. I have several trader friends that just say it's a weird exchange just to avoid it. And yeah, I'm probably gonna miss out on a couple of coins, but I really don't want the hassle. Eve, how you doing? And Eve, since you're here, guys, I'm gonna run in a couple of minutes here. I'm gonna go ahead and post our Slack channel that I created last night. So go ahead and join the Slack channel, everybody. We can keep the conversation going outside of the live stream. So that'll be fun. I don't think I know what I'm getting myself into. Zcash up 10%. There's a few things here up good percentage points, but they're all coming off of lows. Zcash wasn't really, but I guess it did come off of lows. All right. Crypto After Party. I hope I saved you some money. Thank you. That's kind of how I view my job here. Is I try to honestly, I try to save you guys some money. Wouldn't mind making you guys some money either. EOS looking weak. Okay, we'll check it out again before I go. We'll check it out. You're welcome, Eve. I'm getting your name right, Eve? I think I remember it correctly. Trying not to butcher it. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Cool. Okay. VTC. Check out VTC. 2 more minutes. I'll be out at 45. Whatever your time zone is, 45. All right, Eve. I'm glad I got that right. Yeah, Vercoin came down really, really low. Remember I mentioned the spike lows possibly taking a trade. This could be one of those scenarios right here. Spiking down really low. I mean, this seems a little overdone to me. Could be do a nice bounce. Maybe a bounce up here towards 380, which would be at I mean, you could have a really nice bounce over here. This is now wide open to go to the upside. It could go to the downside, but you have the bottom of this pattern here that's going to give you some support. So you could actually maybe do a little bit of trading here, but it's going to be choppy. It's not going to be clean. Just be ready for that if you want to do something like that. Golem, GNT? Yeah, it's GNT. Ugh. Just lower, lower, lower. Everything is lower, lower, lower. Aviad, I do not know anything about Cardano. Nothing about it. I think you've mentioned it or someone else has a couple of times, and I just haven't looked into it. There's a lot of other good ones. IOTA's dead. IOTA's dead. Bitcoin dip pre or post fork. You know, I don't know, buddy. I think I answered that for you earlier. I have no idea what it's going to do. My guess is just as good as yours, so I'm going to abstain from that question, to be honest with you. But it looks like Bitcoin is coming down a little bit. We've broken 73 to the downside. We're down to 70 or 72.64. Went down a whopping like $12 or something like that. But overall, still looking really good here. Still looking really good. Hopefully, if we stay really nice like this and chop around, maybe we get another leg up. Who knows? But there was someone in, I forget the gentleman's name. Had an Asian name like Trung or something. I forget. Yeah, he took profits up here at like 72.50 area, something like that. I cannot fault him for that. This is a very, very good time to maybe take some profits if you're not going to be up for the not going to be in it for the long term there. So, okay. All right, guys. 1:45 my time. I gotta run. I do got some work to do. Thanks for joining me on the Extreme stream. For those of you just joining us, I did just start a Slack channel so we could stay in communication. I'll go over that real quick. And yeah, go over that real quick. I do have a few channels if you want to check. If you want to click plus on your channels over here. Let's create a channel. Where do you select your channels? I don't know. It looks like Frederick has some things on the general channel, so if you want to go ahead and join, do that. But I do have several channels I created. News and rumors, if you guys want to put some news and rumors in there. General for gifts and fun stuff and a bunch of BS. Ethereum for Ethereum posts. Bitcoin for Bitcoin posts. Altcoins for all other ones. Breakouts, or the breakouts room here is supposed to be actionable trades or potentially very current. Very current. Buy points and charts is kind of general charting, maybe looking for some input on your charts, see if you're drawing them correctly, things of that nature. So yeah, there you go. That's the Slack channel. Join up, sign up. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.